I get it. You're standing in the middle of a busy kitchen, looking at a bunch of ice maker options and wondering if you're about to waste your hard-earned cash on something that will sit half-filled in the back room, or worse, melt faster than you can serve a drink. The fear of choosing the wrong machine is real, especially when you're juggling a bar, a catering gig, or a family gathering where cold drinks are non-negotiable. If you're trying to decide whether the INTSUPERMAI commercial ice maker is the right fit for you, let's break down exactly what it does, where it shines, and where it might fall short so you can make a decision based on real-world use, not just a list of specifications. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest thing people look for in a commercial-grade ice maker is reliability under load. This unit claims a 400-pound daily output, which translates to roughly 24 hours of non-stop production if you're in a high-volume environment. In practice, that means you could keep a busy bar stocked with Nugget ice all night without watching the gauge every 10 minutes. The real test, though, isn't the headline number. It's how the machine handles the everyday rhythm of filling, dispensing, and refilling water. Because it's water-cooled, you'll need a sturdy drain line and a consistent source of cold water. Otherwise, the high-efficiency claim turns into a water-wasting nightmare. For most cafes, small restaurants, or event planners who already have a dedicated water line, this setup is a non-issue. If you're a homeowner planning to plug it into a standard kitchen faucet, you'll probably end up with a mess of condensation and a higher utility bill. Ease of use is another promise that the product makes, and it mostly delivers. The front panel controls are intuitive. Press start, and the machine begins its cycle. Within 5 to 15 minutes you'll have a tray of 126 Nugget ice cubes ready for service, which is a realistic turnaround time for most front-of-house needs. The Nugget form factor is a win for anyone who prefers chewable ice that doesn't water down drinks quickly. Think about a smoothie bar where customers love that slushy texture. The Nugget ice melts slower than traditional cubes, keeping drinks cooler longer. However, because the machine produces ice in small, individual nuggets, you'll notice a higher noise level during the harvest cycle. In a quiet lounge or a home bar, that whirring could be more noticeable than you'd expect from a quiet commercial unit. Now let's talk about insulation performance. The stainless steel housing does a decent job of keeping the internal components from overheating, which prolongs the machine's lifespan and reduces the frequency of maintenance. In a real-world scenario, this means you won't have to service the unit as often as a cheaper, thin-walled alternative. That said, the insulation isn't bulletproof. If you place the machine in a sweltering kitchen without proper ventilation, the compressor can run longer, increasing wear and electricity consumption. The sweet spot is a well-ventilated area with ambient temperatures below 85 F, which is typical for most commercial kitchens but might be a challenge in a cramped home garage. Who should buy this ice maker? If you run a bar, a coffee shop, a catering business, or a small event venue where you need a steady stream of Nugget ice for cocktails, smoothies, or punch bowls, this machine hits the mark. Its capacity to produce a full tray in under 15 minutes means you can keep up with peak hours without a backup freezer. The high-quality ice cubes, meaning uniform nugget size and consistent hardness, also make it attractive for specialty drinks where presentation matters. On the flip side, if you're a casual home user who only needs ice once a week for a family gathering, the upfront cost and the requirement for a continuous water line probably outweigh the benefits. You'd be better off with a countertop ice maker that makes standard cubes on demand. The practical strengths of the INTSUPERMAI model become clear when you look at the daily operational flow. The wide application claim isn't just marketing fluff. It truly can handle everything from bar service to pre-shaking ice for a frozen margarita batch. Because the Nugget ice is easy to scoop, staff spend less time wrestling with clumps of hard cubes, which speeds up service times. The machine also has a built-in self-cleaning cycle that activates after a set number of hours, cutting down on the labor you'd otherwise spend scrubbing the interior. That translates to a lower total cost of ownership if you factor in the hours saved on upkeep. On the downside, the unit's water-cooled design means you'll need a reliable plumbing setup. If you don't already have a dedicated line, you'll have to install one, which adds extra cost and potential disruption. Additionally, the machine's size, roughly the footprint of a small refrigerator, means you need a dedicated space, preferably near a sink for easy water supply. The stainless steel exterior is resistant to corrosion, but the internal components can be prone to scale buildup if your water supply is hard.